of us who organised this, welcome to what is arguably, well not even arguably I don't think, the birthplace of public participation and participatory democracy in Australia in the modern age, which is Balmain.
In the 1970s, Nick Oraglass and Izzy Weiner established the tradition of open government in Leichhardt, encouraging citizens to attend council meetings and have a say, especially in proposals for development in our area, what we now proudly call Open Council.
Twice, Mike Baird has been given the opportunity to change the Local Government Act and prohibit property developers from running for council, and twice he said no because they're the people he's listening to. This reform is for them, not against them. We're not blind. We know the truth of it. So I want you to remember this when you go from today. Sometimes you think, why are we in this? Are we in this alone? You're not. You're not. There's people around the state furious about it. It's a bloody crooked process. And it needs to be better than this. The law says it. There are plenty of lawyers out there looking at it. If he thinks he can just roll over the Local Government Act and roll over communities, well, Mike Baird's got another thing coming. Make the message loud and clear. Put your submissions in. It's a long way from over. Thanks very much.
At Leichhardt Council, whether you are a supporter of the Independents, the Greens, the Liberals or the Labor Party, what you get is good government. You get services that local people need. You get high quality childcare services. You get excellent and picturesque local parks that are well maintained. You get footpaths and roads that are well looked after.
Mike Baird tells us that he's listening to the community. Well, Mike Baird, I'll tell you now that communities across New South Wales, councils across New South Wales, in all of the surveys that have been done have told you quite convincingly that they do not want to be amalgamated, that they totally reject forced amalgamations. So we can only conclude that Mike Baird is listening, but as has been said by other speakers, the only people that Mike Baird is listening to is the big end of town.
So I, for one, am glad that my business, and I exist in a council that wants to fight those good fights for me. So yeah, on behalf of the businesses that I know, and I think the majority of the businesses in this strip, we really are against amalgamation. We really enjoy support from our local council, and we would like it to continue that way. Thank you.
I'm here today because I love the Leichhardt local government area. Its unique history, from working class areas, slums to the desired place to live in as it is today. We are here today to fight for our very existence, our lifestyle, our amenity and our local identity.
I've worked for 25 years in private enterprise as a lawyer. I've worked for 18 months for this council. I am constantly amazed at this level of commitment and the level of service. Many of you might have had disputes with council officers. Having your cars booked is not a pleasant experience. Being told that your DA has been refused is not a pleasant experience. But the staff at council do a good job. They do a fantastic job. Imagine what it is like to deliver 10 consecutive budget surpluses, to be consistently recognised by your peers in local government as being at the height of your game, and then coming home, sitting down in front of the television, cracking open a beer and being told, local government's broken.
And I wanted to spend just a couple of minutes explaining to you how false and vacuous and empty the arguments that the government has put forward about these issues. So how did it all start? Well, the government said, we're going to issue a range of criteria to see whether your council is fit for the future. Financial criteria, environmental criteria, infrastructure and so on. Councils like Leichhardt fit every single criteria, successfully met every criteria except for one. A criteria that came out of the Minister's office, this criteria called capacity. Unless you had over a couple of 100,000 people, you weren't fit for the future. So Leichhardt Council, like many other councils, were then deemed not fit for the future because of the completely political criteria of scale, this scale issue that the government brought up.
How can we be training our young people with 185,000 residents and less of a voice to those representatives that are meant to be representing us? So please, write the submissions, fight this, And please, Mike Baird and Mr. Toole, don't take away the futures of the younger generations to save a couple of dollars.